Hello, folks. A couple of minutes to get Facebook up. How are we all this morning? I hope we're all well. If I'm looking a wee bit rough, it's because I was up speaking to Ackies and Wolfpet to daft a quote this morning. So it was a nice natter, but Jesus, I'm a wee bit tired this morning. So there could well be a rant alert. Right, let's get Facebook up. And the audience. Make it public. Save. And that's Facebook on board. So, good morning all. How are we? As I say, if I look a wee bit tired this morning, that's because I was up to daft a quote talking to Wolfpet and Ackies on the Discord. Because I keep forgetting to mention, on a Monday, on a Thursday, we do an after show at 10 o'clock at night. And sometimes if I'm not busy during the week, then there will be an after show in the afternoon on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. Can't do it on a Friday because the wife finishes early and I've got to pick her up at 11:30. Anyway, say, and a class action, I see you're not hitting the light until you get a bloody rant. Well, here's a rant. Class action, hit the bloody like button. There you go. Morning, Jane. Welcome aboard. Right, we've got some nonsense in the press today, folks, and I mean nonsense. And they know it's nonsense. That's why the headlines are written how they're written. So first up, we're going to go to the Scotsman. And the Scotsman has SNP may need to raise taxes to fund ending two-child cap. Warning, policy poses fiscal risk and could force ministers into spending cuts. You know, folks, they won't. It's the reason why the word may is in the headline. And the reason why they won't need to raise taxes is actually quite simple. And Shona explained it in the budget. And it's two words, folks. Fiscal drag. As Shona explained in the budget, she was freezing tax rates and even getting a tax cut to the lowest ones because she doesn't need to raise taxes. The fiscal drag in public service pay rises mean that actually without doing anything, she's bringing in more money. Now, Rachel Reeves is pulling the same stunt down the road. That's why they've kept the base rate fixed at 12,560 odd quid. And it'll be fixed there until 2029. And that drags so many more people into taxation as they get pay rises. So the reason why the Scotsman leads with the misleading headline of May is because they know fine well as we know fine well, because Shona told us in the budget statement that she wasn't going to have to touch taxation for the rest of this parliament because of the fiscal drag. She even explained how much more it was bringing in. So you don't have to take my word for it. You've all got access to Shona's statement, if they're all was put up in the comments. Read it. And when it gets to the bit about personal taxation, you'll see that she makes it quite clear in her statement. And of course, most of us would have watched her statement or have read her statement. It tells you, doesn't need to play about with taxation because of the fiscal drag. I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling great at the moment, young Reginald. I hope whatever it is over with quickly and you're back in good health. All right, the Daily Fail, that's even worse. I'll put this one up. Hey, the Fail, where are we? Oh, a blank page. Here we go, Scottish Daily Fail. SNP budget will force 1 in 4 Scots to pay higher taxes. But what's interesting about that headline is, it's got nothing to do with the SNP budget. It's got to do with the fiscal drag. And it goes on to explain it to you in this section here. It tells you it's the fiscal drag, which is going to put 1 in 4 more Scots into paying taxation. They explain it to us in the article. It's a misleading headline. A totally misleading headline. headline. It's no the Scottish budget that's dragging more people into higher tax. It's the fiscal drag. And this is pure dishonesty for the rags in their headlines. They go on and base articles to explain it's the fiscal drag and public sector pay rises, which is bringing more money into the Scottish Chancellor's or Scottish Finance Secretary's pocket. And it's doing the same thing for the Treasury with England, Wales and Northern Ireland. By not adjusting that base rate, as pay rises, more and more people are dragged into tax, more money in the coffers of the government. Shona explained it in her budget statement. And yet we get this nonsense in the rags. Treating people like fucking idiots and betting on the fact that they wouldn't have watched the budget statement being read out by Shona. That's all that is. It's pure nonsense. That's why in the Scotsman's headline it says may have to. And in the Fails headline it explains in the article itself. Actually, it's not the Scottish budget, it's the fiscal drag. Alright. Now, you all know what the fiscal drag is. We've explained it before. Because the base rate of the entry rate into taxation hasn't changed for years, and pay rises have still been getting awarded, more and more people have been dragged into higher and higher tax brackets. And more people have been dragged into tax, meaning more money for the government's coffers. And Shona explained that in her budget. Okay, right, let's move on. The eye has Starmer reset. PM tells public to judge him on whether living standards rise quickly in UK. Let me translate that for you. That translates to U-turn on his pledge for economic growth. That is what that translates into. U-turn on his pledge for economic growth. So, that's exactly what that translates into. Next up, we have the Telegraph, and I'll put it up. That one. The Telegraph, PM drops pledge as economy stumbles. Try stagnates, contracts, shrinks as unemployment soars. While the specky genocide enabler pulls the wool over every fucker's eyes. Fucker knew when he was making the pledge that there was no growth in this economy to be had. People have no money to spend in the market because of the cost of living crisis. Economy contracts. Cut off for international partners. Economy contracts. That lying, specky, genocide enabling fucker on the front page of that fucking paper, him and that witch, Rachel Reeves, knew that. And they knew it was going to be austerity plus. I'll tell you one better than that. See, when I hear fucking halfwits talking about us on the left down in England. There is no left in England. Hasn't been for 35, 40 years, 50 years, 70 years. No fucking left. And let me explain that for people who are stupid enough not to understand. There hasn't been a left-leaning incarnation of the Labour Party since Tony Blair moved them to the centre. Starmer moved them to the right. Why did he do it? Well, that's simple. England's a right-of-centre country. That's why out of the last 50 years, we've had fucking 35 years of Tory rule. Because England is a right-of-centre nation. And Blair and Starmer knew in order to win an election in England, they had to move to the fucking right. So Starmer moved them to the centre. Sorry, Blair moved them to the centre. Starmer moved them to the right of centre. And any fucker in the Labour Party that comes away with this us on the left pish especially young people. Young people, you've never fucking seen a left fucking leaning government. There hasn't been one since the 70s. And I should know, I grew up in that period of fucking time. And I've been watching politics since I was a fucking boy. So anybody in the Labour Party right now saying us on the left is a fucking idiot. Because the Labour Party hasn't been in the left since Tony Blair came to power. They were bang smack in the fucking centre then, and now they're right of centre. And by the way, the political spectrum map, if you bother your ass to look it up, shows you exactly that. Just a fraction less to the right than the Conservative Party. A fraction on that fucking map. And they're both right of centre. And the reason why they're right of centre, because the people of England are, by nature, right of centre. It's just the way it is. It's the way it's been all my life. That's why for my lifetime, there has been 35 years of fucking Tory government and only 15 fucking years of Labour government. Because England is a right of centre country. And because it's a right of centre country, Blair had to move him to the centre, and in order to win that election, Starmer had to move him to the right. And anybody that doesn't understand that is a fucking political fucking midget. Wow. The Herald has... I'll put it up, this one makes me fucking laugh. So it does. The Herald. The Herald has Labour in pledge to Scotland on green energy. Superpower plan with trade unions. Now apparently there's something called the Council of Clean Energy, and Starmer's going to put his goons for the trade unions on that board as they rip Scotland of their resources and wealth again. So we're going to trade unionise fucking theft of Scotland's resources, because it won't make Scotland a penny. And in fact, if it's anything like the oil, it'll make us fucking poorer. So it will. It will make us poorer. The Record has tout rage. Ticket scam on via Google, whatever the fuck that is. The Sun has Mo Farah hounded for cash by Mo Farah. So apparently the person whose name the illegal immigrant Sir Mo Farah stole wanted money off him. So he gave him money and now it's no stole. That's what happens, you steal somebody's name when you're an illegal fucking immigrant. Yeah? The National has, I'll put it up. Richard Murphy, the biggest issue with the budget, it's that we don't have independence. Now, is he talking about Scottish independence there, or is he talking about fiscal independence? They're two different things. Well, if you want to know, you need to read the advert. Robertson defends grant to arms firms linked to Israel. No direct funding of making of weapons. Doesn't matter, Angus, your fucking head case. If this money's going into research and development, that research and development then becomes arms. Just fucking chuck it. It's a bad image, it's a bad look. The Scottish government's got no business investing in arms companies. None. We also have, we will work in Scottish policy areas devolved or not, says Murray. And we will ignore your 1998 fucking Scotland Act because you broke it, Murray. And we'll be coming along to your office shortly to make that fucking clear to you. And First Minister, Scotland can't wait for Labour to axe benefit cap. PM, SNP's move, not a poverty silver bullet. Aye, it fucking is. The OBR and the Institute for Fiscal Studies, two not very reputable think tanks, but ones which the government hang their hat on, have told them that just to scrap that two-child cap will immediately lift 250,000 children out of fucking poverty. Instead, he's decided to force an additional 250,000 children into poverty this year, has Mr. Starmer and his Chancellor, Rachel Reeves. So, as well as backing a genocide which is killing thousands upon thousands of Palestinian children, he's also no averse to starving children here in the UK. The man's a fucking monster. And for him to say, move not a poverty silver bullet, he knows he's fucking lying. Because his own think tanks are telling him. Okay. The shit in the newspapers gets worse day in, day out. Right, and the Metro has smiling assassin. Hitman wrote cryptic messages on his bullets before killing insurance tycoon. So apparently some hitman would take a wee bit of time engraving his bullets before he fired them, and it made him smile. So there you go, smiling assassin. Huh? But cryptic messages on the bullet he used to kill a tycoon. Lovely. I wonder if the Stars get anything better for us today. Well, actually, the Stars are a weird one today. In fact, there's about half a dozen papers in England running with this cover sheet. But thankfully, in the top right-hand corner of this cover sheet is what the headline is going to be. So I'll put it up, because I couldn't find a copy without the cover sheet. So the Daily Star. Now I've enlarged this one so we can see the picture in the top right-hand corner. And it says, your fab paper is inside. And as I say, it's a supermarket chain advert as a dust cover today. But up in this corner, it tells us, oh, it's a cracker. It tells us, important alert for slapheads. Step away from the eggnog. Boff's warned, Xmas food and drink can make you bald. Now that's a Star headline we can all get behind. That's the sort of crap we expect from the Star. The boffins have been at it again. Don't drink eggnog. Don't eat turkey. Alright? Otherwise you're going to end up a slaphead. Huh? You got to love the Star. The Star is brilliant. Step away from the eggnog. Boffins warn that Christmas food and drink make you bald. You can't beat a boffin. You just cannot beat a boffin. And of course, it's a shame that they covered it up with a dust jacket, because that's a classic. That's brilliant. Absolute brilliant. Lorraine, thank you very much. Per character, jumping up and down, saying #1 fan. The Star. I don't have fans. I've only got friends. You guys who watch this are my friends. You know. So, there you have it. Anyway, that's what I've got for you today, folks. We'll wind up the week with a nice boffin headline in the Star, because you know Davey likes his boffin headlines. So, a lot of nonsense in the papers today. Green energy superpower. There's no jobs in it. We've explained why there's no jobs in it. And as for this nonsense about having to raise taxes, it's in the budget statement. Go and read it. The reason why the Scottish Exchequer is taking in so much extra cash is the fiscal drag. Especially as the public sector have been whapping fucking great pay rises. So is the private sector. I mean, after the pandemic, the average wage of a driver jumped 10 grand a year. Because people my age were just deciding, fuck it, no putting up with that anymore. So, even in the private sector, there has been huge pay increases. And because, as I say, the entry level into taxation hasn't changed, we're all paying more in income tax. And the Treasury and the Scottish Chancellery are going, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Alright? Ignore the bollocks, think things through, and you will realise that these stories are not true. But if you're going to look at the headline, at least go to the trouble of reading the article, because in the body of the article it explains it itself. Now, you guys have a cracking weekend. We'll be back on Monday morning to do it all again. And then you'll get Two Davies in the afternoon. And then I think the following Monday will be the last one before Christmas, because that'll be the 20th. As I say, but there will be the Christmas shows in between. The Christmas and New Year show in between. You'll get a Christmas Day special from 11 o'clock to probably 2 o'clock. And the Nerdy Natter will start on the 31st at 4 o'clock if anybody wants to pop in. Okay, and that'll last as long as it takes for Davey to fall off his fucking chair. Usually have a nice weekend and look after yourselves, look after each other. Now, at the beginning of the comments, there was some sort of warning there by James Connolly. Must be bad weather in the forecast or something.